It's Test the Nation Part 2, the 2003 test, the biggest live interactive quiz review of the year. Time to find out how good you were at dusting off those memories of 2003. Please welcome back our hosts, Anne Robinson and Philip Schofield.
Anyway, it's the moment you've all been waiting for, the chance to find out how much you really remembered about this year. Answers coming up very shortly.
We're hoping to talk to the person who's had the highest score playing online. I can tell you that we have had 47,000 on their mobiles texting in their answers and many thousands more playing online. The figures going up all the time, of course, as they always do. And, of course, you can still join them.
Just to return you to the spirit of 2003, there's lots of spirit round here. A few more images.
Come on and dance with me, yeah, slow. Skip the beat and move with the body, yeah, slow, yeah.
Are you sitting smugly at home, or do you have no intention of telling anyone your score? Wheel clampers. Our studio groups, of course, have no option. Let's meet them once again. Will they be hot stuff tonight or flaming useless? It's the Firefighter! Legal Eagles or Christmas turkeys with the lawyers? Can they pull something out of the hat? It's our magicians! And they are sitting pretty, but don't stand a chance. The beauticians! Hoping to stop the others in their tracks, we've got our wheel clampers. Putting on a united front and ready to battle it out, it's the Forces families. And finally, we all know them, but what do they know about 2003? It's our celebrities. Well, I don't think they like the competition, that's what it is. Let's see how you do this evening. Michael, it's obviously lovely to see you out from behind the desk. But you don't always wear the full suit, do you?
Well, no, actually, I do have rather shockingly beautiful legs.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah. And for Children in Need excuse me a second. Have I got your attention?
You have now.
Yeah, for Children in Need last year, I had the kind of the miniskirt, the leather miniskirt, and the fishnet stockings, not tights, very uncomfortable, and the boots. And because it was immediately after the 10 o'clock news, I had to do the news wearing this particular rig out. And the awful problem was, it was the night that Myra Hindley died, and we had somebody who came in that I had to interview who was not forewarned about this. So at the end of this, I sort of talked to the screen. I had my legs under the desk, and I had to whirl round, and I went, why was she such an icon of evil? And there was an awful moment.
The man walk out thinking this, always like that, the BBC.
No, his jaw dropped, and then he recovered.
Who are you rooting for this evening? You like magic, don't you?
Hmm?
You like magic?
I like magic. I like the magicians. Something tells me not to like the lawyers. There's a wonderful wonderful bumper sticker going around at the moment that says, put your hands on lawyers, strangle a solicitor today. But I'm going for the wheel clampers because... They get rid of the people furring up the arteries of the city. They're heroes. Oh. And I'm against the beauticians because I've been made up for 14 years and I'm not looking any more beautiful than when they started.
Angela, of course, you played a beautician.
I do play a beautician and I'm so on the beautician's side. Absolutely. They've been trying to make me do beautician things over the last couple of weeks and I didn't do any training or anything beforehand. And it's really, really hard. So, yeah, beauticians.
Linda, you won't be going for the magicians.
Sorry?
You won't be going for the magicians.
No, I think I might be going for the lawyers. I think for their sheer humanity, I think, you know, the idea of a world without lawyers, it's like the Beatles without Yoko, really, isn't it? I'm suspicious of the beauticians because you can't tell what they're thinking because of the Botox. So they could be a dark horse. But I think, really, because we seem to share a taste in who we don't want to be Prime Minister, I'm going for the firefighters.
And Leslie, you wouldn't go for the beauticians because you had a bit of a bad experience with the bikini wax.
I had a terrible experience with a beautician. I did. I had a shocking bikini wax.
What sort of a note would you...
Well, I mean, bikini waxes are bad enough at the best of times, aren't they? I mean, let's face it, you chaps will all know about that, won't you? But she drew blood, she did. My skin came off everything. She was going for it.
What sort of a note would you hit if you... Yes.
I'm going to the magicians. I think because shall I tell you what? That chap there, look. Well done. The one in the third row there, in the white one, the lovely one. Isn't that Greg Dyke with the stick-on beard? I'm sure it is, look. Don't you think?
We'll pick him out later. I'll pick him out later for you. Anne's got the reviewers.
Michael, ever had a bad bikini wax, dear?
No, I haven't.
Right.
Go on, Anne.
Which... Am I teasing you?
Am I teasing you, Anne?
No. Which group are you going to support?
Wheel clampers.
Now, that's because you're a nasty authoritarian, isn't it?
It's because I always like lost causes. I was the Minister for the poll tax, not least.
It's a good job nobody has to vote for you anymore now, Michael.
Isn't it lucky? And you're my constituent, so you're
yes,
particularly
indeed.
let off.
Mark, who are you supporting?
I've given this a lot of thought. I've decided to go for the beauticians. My life totally depends on these people, not for myself, obviously. I'm a natural beauty. But where would the world of celebrity be, Anne, without beauticians?
And also, do you fiddle with those photographs?
We never. We take great pride in printing photographs of people with their spots. We don't want to take the spots off. I mean, where would the world be without beauticians? Kylie Minogue would never leave the house.
No one you could persuade easier than me. Thank you, Mark. OK, it's time for the answers to Test the Nation about 2003. Remember, 1 point for a correct answer, absolutely nothing for a wrong one. The first section, headlines of the year. Just got there. During this summer's heat wave in Britain, where were the highest temperatures recorded? The answer is C, Faversham in Kent. On August the 10th, the Met Office recorded temperatures of 38.5 degrees centigrade, 101.3 degrees Fahrenheit. You might have thought the answer was Heathrow or Gravesend. They were the ones that started the day, breaking previous records. Anyway, across the country that weekend, everyone had to do what they could to keep cool. Supermarkets sold a record 17 million ice lollies, one to this otter, 150,000 litres of sun cream, sadly none of it to David Dickinson. Question 2, what brought havoc to London, New York and Rome? The answer is B, power cuts. In August, 250,000 Londoners were affected when a fuse blew and the rush hour came to a halt. A month later, a storm caused a blackout across Italy for 18 hours, but the worst power cut was in New York and in other parts of North America.
As you can see, people had to use ingenious ways to get about after a major power failure brought chaos and gridlock for almost 12 hours.
Well, since it's a blackout, I thought I'd dress up and be visible for the evening, and there's no better outfit than this to wear.
Question 3. Who was a cough away from $1 million? Well, Alistair Campbell, Andrew Gilligan and Tony Martin were all in the news in 2003, but the man who almost won £1 million was, answer C, Charles Ingram, an army major. He sat in the hot seat for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and was helped by noises from an accomplice in the audience. Here's the question that was to win the... Thank you. To win the major his $1 million. Watch him trying out the right answer.
No, it's a Google. Tell me somebody. It's a Google. God, is it a Google? Yeah. Yeah, it's a Google. Yeah. Yeah. I think I know. I think it's a Google. I'm going to play Google.
It's so obvious. Ingram was found guilty of fraud and now says he's plagued by people coughing at him. He should see what it's like to have people winking and saying goodbye all the time. Question 4. What was the battle plan which launched the Iraq War? The answer is D. On the 20th of March, the Americans began with an offensive named Shock and Awe. The name came from a book by a military strategist who said this tactic used against a foe would paralyse the enemy's will to resist. A good stocking filler this Christmas. Question 5. When David Beckham joined Real Madrid, what did his squad number change to? The answer is D, 23, which belonged to one of Beckham's sporting heroes, which was the basketball player Michael Jordan. But anyway, Becks didn't actually have much choice. The only numbers available were 4 or 23.
4 people, apparently, in our studio have got all 5 right in that first section. We'll find out later whether they keep it up and whether or not we get to talk to them if they're the winner at the end of the programme. But Nicola Peterson here has a confession that she wants to make, don't you, Nicola?
Oh, this is embarrassing,
Because of that Beckham question.
Well, I got that one right, actually.
I should think you did.
My family are a bit of a die-hard Liverpool fan club, and obviously we loathe Man United. But now that he's gone to Real Madrid, I can come out the closet and admit that we're David Beckham fans.
How is this going to go down in your household?
Well, my husband knows, and my children accept that as well. They all support David Beckham.
Did you get all 5 right in the first part?
I think I probably got 4. I think I went for Gravesend and not Faversham.
Ah, OK. Easy mistake to make. Yeah. Best of luck for the rest of it.
Thank you.
OK, on to headline grabbers. Question 6, sexed up. What does this refer to? The answer is D, a dossier on Iraq. The government and Alistair Campbell, the Prime Minister's chief spin doctor, were accused by the BBC reporter Andrew Gilligan of having sexed up a report, arguing the case for war. Now, you might have thought the answer was B, depending on your taste. The England team did indeed wear a new skin-tight kit for the World Cup. Whether it was sexy or not is another matter. Beauticians.
No.
What did you think of the kit? Never mind just saying way. Was it thumbs up for the kit or thumbs down for the kit? Matt Dawson, how did it feel wearing that very tight outfit?
I'm not so much worried about the outfit as the gormless look I've got on my face.
It looks as if it's got a corset involved in it. You look very slim.
Did you not like it, Anne? Did you not like it?
Yeah, I think it's very nice. Did you feel sexy in it?
That's probably not a word I'd use. 18-stone players are running at me. Sexy.
I see you've got a tooth missing. Was that before you put the outfit on or after?
I was hoping to talk to the beauticians about that. Maybe they can sort that out. But no, that was after. It was during the World Cup. It got kindly smashed out by a teammate. Yeah.
Ah, poor Matt. Right, question 7. Krudetsky. What did Greg Rusedski do at Wimbledon? The answer is B. Britain's number 2 seed lost his temper with the umpire during his match with the American Andy Roddick. Greg mistook a shout from the crowd for a line call and stopped playing, thereby losing the point. And the match. Colin, why is it we can't do better in tennis?
I feel perhaps as youngsters, everybody kind of has been chased and run around a bit so you can produce good runners. And we always give kids a ball. You never tend to give them a bat and a ball. So it's quite alien until they get to a reasonable age, I think.
How old were you when you got serious about being an athlete?
17.
Right. So not quite late on, actually.
Yeah.
And that would be too late for a tennis player, wouldn't it?
I'd have thought so, because most of the women have certainly won tournaments by then.
Yeah. Thank you. Question 8. Borrow on a credit card, not me. Who's the me? The answer is not the Director General of the BBC, but A, the Chief Executive of Barclays Bank, Matthew Barrett. He told a parliamentary committee that he didn't borrow on plastic because it was too expensive. Question 9. Something of the right. Who is this referring to? The answer is B. It's a play on words about the new Conservative leader, Michael Howard. Now, during the 1997 leadership election, Anne Widdecombe said there was something of the night about him, and it actually kept Howard in the shadows for another 6 years. Question 10. You are free to go, Mr. Bond. A 72-year-old Briton had been imprisoned in South Africa. Why? The answer is B. This is one of the most unlikely but true stories of the year. Derek Bond, a retired businessman, was arrested at gunpoint while on holiday, suspected of being one of the world's most wanted men. He was held by police for several weeks until the FBI, finally released him. Question 11. Backward Christian soldiers. What prompted this headline? The answer is A. It was a row over the first openly gay bishop. Jean Robinson was made Bishop of New Hampshire last month despite protests from Anglicans across the globe. And that is all for the headlines. Now, let's look at some more questions from around the world. Question 12. Whom did Arnold Schwarzenegger replace as Governor of California? The answer is C. Gray Davis. There was what amounted to a vote of no confidence in Davis, and from nowhere, inside 2 months, along came the state's knight in shining armour. It was said Governor Davis was grey by name and grey by nature. Watch this clip and see which one you would have voted for.
I am calling on everyone in this state to put the chaos and the division of the recall behind us and do what's right for this great state of California.
I know that together we can make this again the greatest state of the greatest country in the world.
Beauticians, would you have voted for Arnie? Yes. You understand all about American politics? Question 13. Where were the first reports of the SARS virus? The answer is B, China. SARS, a serious flu, was first reported in the Guangdong province of China. It spread to more than 30 countries. More than 8,000 people were infected. Question 14. Who was Saddam's spin doctor? The answer is C, the man dubbed Comical Ali. Full name, Mohammed Saeed al-Sayhaf. Iraq's information minister. Not the most enviable job, but as the Allied forces swept across Iraq towards Baghdad, Comical Ali remained relentlessly upbeat.
They are going to surrender or be burnt in their tanks.
You're not frightened now, sir?
Not at all, not at all. And you don't be frightened. We are going to tackle them and to destroy them.
Question 15. Which European country voted no to the euro? The answer is D, Sweden. Its government held a referendum on the euro this year. Unlike ours, 56% voted no with a turnout of more than 80%. Tony Blair must be very envious. He was re-elected with a turnout of only 59%.
And they're even talking, of course, about bringing the voting age down to 16. We've Laura Hamlin here, who is 16. Do you think you should vote, Laura?
I have mixed feelings about it.
Are you interested in politics?
Not really.
Did you know Michael Portillo?
No.
Have you ever voted for things like Pop Idol or Fame Academy?
Yeah, Pop Idol.
OK, well, we'll have a word with Michael about that in that case. So you got 12 out of 15, by the way, so you're doing extremely well. So there we are, Michael. What do we... have a round of applause. Young lady there, so bringing the voting age down to sort of 16. She's not that interested in politics. I mean, is that a good idea?
I think it's quite a good thing that young people aren't too interested in politics. There are lots of other better things to be interested in when you're young, I think. And we live in a country that's a democracy, so it doesn't matter too much what happens in an election, because life goes on. You know, we go on having our basic rights, don't we?
So if it was up to you, would you lower the voting age to 16?
No, I think probably not. I don't think there is enough interest between 16 and 17-year-olds probably to make the difference.
All right, let's have a look at our leaderboard and how it goes so far. Thanks, Michael. Right, OK, what have we got at this stage of the programme? We have the beauticians at the bottom with 48% of correct answers. Then we have the wheel clampers above the beauticians at 49%. Above them, we have our magicians on 54%. Percentage is getting higher now. We've armed forces on 68%. Above that, we have our lawyers on 71%. They're not in the lead. Then we have our firefighters at 72%. And we've got the celebrities on 77%. We've spoken a lot to our celebs, so let's have a word with the beauticians. Here we go. Here we go, ladies. Why? Why are you languishing down the bottom here, ladies? What's happened?
Well,
I thought we were quite intelligent, but maybe it's just other areas.
Well-
They should be more on, like, Hello Magazine and stuff.
Oh, yes, I expect you're probably right. Annie?
I think celebrities are cheating, actually. They're all helping us. The next section is People of the Year. And we're starting with some notable achievements. Question 16. Watch this. Isn't he gorgeous? What was the significance of Robbie's Nebworth concerts? The answer is A. He played to a record 375,000 people over 3 days in August. The answer certainly wasn't C. In fact, there was such terrible traffic jams on the first night, many missed the concert altogether. On to 17. Remember this young man.
I'm so grateful to be back in England. I'm happy to be back with my family. I'm looking forward to university. I'm going to be just fine. Life's looking pretty good.
Why was Matthew Scott without food for 12 days? The answer is B. In September, he was kidnapped by Colombian rebel guerrillas while on a tourist trip to the Lost City. He escaped into the jungle, but then got lost. Matthew kept walking until he stumbled upon a more friendly tribe, who fed him and got him to safety. As gap years go, quite an experience. And more Christmas cheer, Matthew's fellow hostages, including a British TV producer, have been released today. To 18. Watch this baby.
Did you tell everybody at school that your mummy was having a baby today?
Okay, I'm even a teacher.
And what did Miss Woodcock say?
Wow.
Why was he a scientific breakthrough for Britain? The answer is B. Baby Jamie Whittaker was born in June after his embryo was genetically matched to his brother Charlie. Charlie suffers from a blood disorder, and doctors hope that stem cells from the umbilical cord of Jamie can be used to treat him. Question 19. The explorer Sir Ranulph Fiennes set out to break a new record. What was it? The answer is D. He had already achieved A on another expedition in 1982. This time, in spite of having a heart attack and a double heart bypass, Sir Ranulph and his sporting companion, Dr. Stroud, ran 26 miles every day for a week.
From Chile in South America, they went on to Singapore via the Falkland Islands and Sydney, Australia. New York was the final destination. By then, they'd completed marathons in London and Egypt. 45,000 miles all up, quite a feat.
Now, of the two sporting heroes we've got here, who trains the hardest?
We do, athletes.
Matt, would you
Always
agree with
quick
that?
off the mark, wouldn't he? Always quick off the mark. No, of course we train harder than him. He's retired. Of course I train harder than him.
Back to our own marathon, and on we go with some of the curious things people have uttered this year. Question 20. Who said £1 million is a lot of money to a lot of people, but it's not that much for us? Well, I guess it could have been any of the answer options. In fact, it was D. Catherine Zeta-Jones. During her court case, she and her husband, Michael Douglas, sued Hello Magazine, so the beauticians probably got this one, over the publication of unauthorised pictures of their wedding. In the end, the couple were awarded just £14,500, which included £3,500 each for hurt feelings. On to question 21. Gulping for air, I started crying and yelling at him, "Why did you lie to me?" Lines from a book by whom? The answer is C. Hillary Clinton. This comes from her autobiography, out this year. The quote refers to a bedroom scene in which Hillary discovers that Bill, then President of the United States, had lied about his relationship with Monica Lewinsky. Never mind, it's been terrific for book sales. Question 22. I thought he was some young yob in a beat-up car. Who was the yob? The answer is B, Prince William. Who said it? Well, Lord Bathurst, a former lord-in-waiting to the Queen, who was driving on his estate when the prince sped past in a great hurry. The prince had been playing polo in a match with his father. Lord B gave chase, only to be stopped by one of the prince's bodyguards. Strong words were exchanged. I think you're a... and... no, I'm not a... Your Highness. Question 23. Who said, I can only go one way, I've not got a reverse gear? The answer is D, Tony Blair, to this year's Labour Party conference, where he told the audience he was going to continue with his reforms. This led to a rash of cartoons, like this one, about bad driving and bad drivers, for that matter. Question 24. Who described her husband as a golden thread running through my life? The answer is C, Margaret Thatcher, talking about Dennis, who died in June, aged 88. He was at her side for more than half a century. He called her the boss and said his motto was always present, never there. Quite clever, that. You have to think about it. Michael, you must have known Dennis quite well, because you were a minister during Mrs. Thatcher's reign, were you not?
He was a lovely man, yes, I was, yeah.
Have you got any memories of him?
I remember quite recently, actually, Dennis and Margaret came along to see the unveiling of a statue at the Royal Hospital, Chelsea. This was a statue of King Charles II, and it had been black for the last 2 centuries, but they'd raised an awful lot of money, and they spent a lot of care and effort re-gilding it, and it was under a cover, and there was a marvellous moment in the ceremony when the cover was whipped off, and we all absolutely sighed because it was this dazzling, sparkling, golden statue. And then we heard the voice of Dennis booming out, "Never mind, dearie, it'll soon dull down again."
That's lovely. Question 25. Who said we got him? Answer D, Paul Bremer. Here's the quote of the year.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yes, Paul Bremer, the US administrator in Baghdad, telling the world that the Iraqi leader, Saddam Hussein, had been caught. Saddam was found in an isolated hut near his hometown to Crete. He identified himself to a US soldier who replied, "President Bush sends his regards."
Now, the round of questions to see whether you can make the connection. Question 26. What do Diana's love letters, Elton John's furniture and Sooty and Sweep have in common? Answer C. They were all put up for sale. Major James Hewitt wanted $10 million for Diana's love letters. Be quiet, wheel campers. No sales yet. Elton John decided to have a change of look and sold off the contents of his London house. Sooty and Sweep were auctioned separately. Sooty went for £1,500, Sweep for just £5. Magicians, any Sooty fans among you? They like Sooty. Question 27. Which of these ladies was not a calendar girl? Answer B, Joanna Lumley. The others, that's to say Helen Mirren, Penelope Wilton and Julie Walters, all starred in the film about the Yorkshire women who posed naked for a WI calendar. Here are 2 of them in their calendar poses. Penelope was July, and Julie, who's got a fantastic figure, was February. Philip.
So which of our celebrities here have taken their kit off for professional reasons? Leslie, you have, haven't you?
Oh, dear. Now it's out. Yes, I'm afraid so. I've whipped it off, darling. as it
Why?
were. Well, the first time, because there's been more than one occasion, was when I was a student at the Royal Academy of Music, and I used to pose for artists and sculptors to earn the money to get through my music degree. And the second time was much more fun. It was in a production of Die Fledermaus at the London Coliseum for English National Opera. And the choice was between singing a big top C, like you just heard, which was very difficult for me at the time because I'd just had a car accident and broke my ribs and my stern and my breastbone here, so it was quite difficult. So they said, you can take your clothes off and sit if you like. So I said, fine, I'll do that. So I sort of just bared my bottom.
And Colin, you have as well, haven't you?
Yeah, shamelessly for cash.
Very best reason.
Well done.
And we know that. And we know that Matt has, because
not so shamelessly for charity.
Got it here, and there it is. That's calendar in 2000.
No one can see that, thankfully.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Pass it round, says Linda. Look, listen, there you go. I'll pass it round. There you are. Oh, look, carry on. Have a look. There we are. Annie.
I want to look later. Question 28. What did William Hague, Sanjeev Bhaskar and Charlotte Churchill do? The answer is C. They each presented Have I Got News for You? William had the highest ratings of that series, 6.8 million. Question 29. What connects Sarah Brown, Heather Mills and J.K. Rowling? Answer 8. They all had babies this year. Answer A, sorry, they all had babies this year. Sarah Brown, wife of the Chancellor, had a boy, John. Heather Mills, a girl, Beatrice. And J.K. Rowling, a boy, David, not Harry. Question 30. What do Anthony Leggett, Sir Peter Mansfield and Clive Granger have in common? Answer B. They all won Nobel Prizes, and better still, they're all British. Anthony Leggett for superconductors, Sir Peter Mansfield for developing the hospital scanner, and Clive Granger for his work with statistics. Now, we don't look too pleased about that, beauticians, but talking about achievements, how are you getting on, beauticians? Have we any high achievers among you? Carol Goodwin.
Yes. Well, as well as being a trainee beauty therapist, I've got 8 children, and I'm also a belly dancer.
Wow! How was that for you? That's the most we've seen you concentrate all evening.
Let's have a look at our leaderboard now and see whether or not the positions have changed at this stage. Here we go, and you can see that... Oh, the wheel clampers! Slipped to bottom place. What about the beauticians? The beauticians have moved up now, 48%. We have the magicians on 54%. We have the armed forces families at 66%. The lawyers on 70%. Oh, where are the celebs? Where are the celebs? Firefighters at 73%. And the celebrities at 76%. Linda, I mean, you're a very high scorer. We've already said that you've got quite a high score. I mean, what do you think is the secret of the celeb success here? Being in the public eye?
I think it's we've just maybe hit upon the right combination of drugs.
Sounds good to me. Anne.
Firefighters, try, because you're nearly there. On to the popular culture questions. And question 31. What distinguished Gemini's performance at the Eurovision Song Contest? Answer B, they came last with the famous, or perhaps infamous, Nil Point. No UK entry has ever scored that little before. However, thank you. Don't be smug. There's no accounting for taste. The single still got into the top 20 in Britain because all the lawyers bought it. Question 22. And a famous TV moment. Where had Dirty Den been for the past 14 years? Answer... Spain, yes. Den Watts, played by Leslie Grantham, was apparently shot dead in February 1989, but whoops, the scriptwriters decided he'd been living abroad. 16 million people tuned in to see his return, all 5 seconds of it.
I've got something for you.
What?
Hello, Princess.
Question 33. Who joined Gareth Gates to sing Spirit in the Sky for comic relief? The answer is D, the Kumars. The song went to #1 in March and raised more than 350,000. Are we enjoying ourselves, the Armed Forces families? We're very proud of you. Good. Question 34. Nicole Kidman wore a false nose to play which writer in The Hours? Answer B, Virginia Woolf. Kidman's performance won her an Oscar for Best Actress this year. Question 35. Who lost his wife at the hands of Corrie killer Richard Hillman? Answer C, Ashley Peacock. Maxine died in what the scheming villain played by Brian Capron called A Mistake with a Crowbar. Wheel clampers. Can you tell us what's more fun, clamping or not clamping? Clamping. And they're so pretty too.
Although, John, it can be, we've already spoken to you about sort of being left behind and having to be picked up when your van broke down, but it can be quite hazardous, can't it, as a job?
In Thamesmead one day, it's me and the two other drivers, outside the police station it goes, and it was a friend of mine, he picked up a car, and all of a sudden we heard all this noise, he was getting shot at by a paintball gun. About 25 shots, hit the lorry and went in the cab.
But missed you?
Yeah, the police run. We're calling out for him, but they come back out and we must go, I've been shot at, I've been shot at.
Can you guys, would you ever say that you had a sort of soft heart? Can you ever be persuaded not to give a clamp?
No.
Now you've spent an evening with us in the studio. You spent a night with us in the studio. You know us very well. If you were to see Anne and her car by the side of the road, would you clamp her?
Wouldn't clamp on.
No. Under no circumstances.
Under no circumstances.
But you can only push your luck too far.
Certainly can.
See, you're safe now, Annie.
Next question's on popular culture. Question 36. What threatened the launch of the latest Harry Potter book? The answer is B. Amid all the hype and excitement before publication of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, nearly 8,000 copies were stolen from a warehouse on Merseyside. Magically, it's still... What's so funny about Merseyside? It's my home! Magically, it's still got to #1. Philip?
This is Stuart Watkins in Our Magicians. Has Harry Potter affected you guys much?
Absolutely, Philip. I think with the films as well, it's certainly encouraged us all to, and certainly the younger generation as well. But on the theme of Harry Potter, I've got my own experiment. I learnt at Hogwarts. Would you be able to help me?
Oh, God, yes. Yes, all right.
I need to borrow some jewellery, if possible.
From me?
Possibly, yeah. If you've got a ring, would be perfect.
Wedding ring?
Perfect.
Sorry, Steph. There you go.
Comes off very easy, Philip. It's a bit worrying. It's strong enough, but a little experiment. I'm going to look after this for you.
You better have.
Let me sort of get some tissue paper out and wrap it up very sweetly for you. Let me just clean it off again. There's a little bit of dirt on there for you. Let me just sort of... Now, the idea behind this is to expand the metal for you, Philip, and make this a more valuable ring. Just
more gold would be good, of course.
That would be excellent. Let me just bear with me. Let me just warm this up a second, would you mind? And just, see if I would just warm that up. You see, it's actually expanded... Oh!
Ow!
Sorry.
Nearly had his hair out. If he had any hair...
Two tricks for the price of one.
It's happened to him before.
I do apologise. That wasn't supposed to happen. Have you got another one?
No, I don't.
Oh, OK. I'll keep a spare. It's OK. Have a look. Now, on my keyring, you see, it's one that I keep as a spare, just in case little things like that happen. And
now that is clever.
Like that?
Does that mean I'm married to your wife?
Yes, I'll... Well done.
Round of applause. Annie.
Question 37. What prize did this person win? Answer A. The pottery artist Grayson Perry won the Turner.
Perry, being congratulated here by his wife, accepted the award as his alter ego Claire.
Well, it's about time a transvestite potter won the Turner Prize.
Here's an example of the potter's work. Intricate painting on vases, but actually it was his dress, specially designed and apparently costing £2,500, that was the real eye-catcher.
Not as expensive as mine. Question 38. Why was this Leonardo da Vinci painting removed from its Scottish home? Unlikely as it seems, the answer is B. The Madonna with the yarn winder was stolen from its Scottish home while it was open to the public. The 16th century work, worth about 30 million, was small enough to be tucked under someone's arm. Still no sighting of the arm or the painting. Question 39. Which musician put a spell on you for the last time in April? Well, the answer in the singer's own words.
I can't stand it, you run around, Daddy, you know better now. I can't stand it when you put me down. So I went to Alabama and I got me some mojo dust and I put a spell on you.
Nina Simone, she died in April, age 70. Aretha Franklin and Eartha Kitt are still with us, but Barry White, the Walrus of Love, also sadly died this year at 58. Question 40. Which novel won the Man Booker Prize? This is the Clampers very keen on this. Answer D. Vernon God Little by D.B.C. Pierre, whose real name is Peter Finlay. You all knew that, didn't you? His first novel and the £50,000 prize money went to pay off his creditors he'd swindled over the years when he was a drug addict. Now, a few questions for those sporting enthusiasts, but I hope everyone had a go. Question 41. England won the Rugby World Cup for the first time. Who scored their only try of the final? The answer is B. Jason Robinson. 38 minutes into the game, he scored after 3 Wilkinson penalties to put England 14-5 ahead.
Here's Delalio, the big man with a lovely pass to Wilkinson and Robinson. They won't catch him.
It works every time. Question 42. Wayne Rooney became the youngest footballer to score for England. Which country was the team playing against? The answer is A, Macedonia. Rooney was a month away from his 18th birthday when he was picked for this crucial match. His goal gave the England team the equaliser it needed. The team went on to qualify for Euro 2004. Question 43. After 4 years as England captain, Nasser Hussain quit. Who replaced him? The answer C, Michael Vaughan. Hussain continues to play in the team, which has just finished a test series in Sri Lanka where they slumped to one of their worst test defeats ever. You knew that, beauticians, didn't you? Yeah. Question 44. What did Paula Radcliffe break at the London Marathon? Answer is B, not D, I'm pleased to say. She beat her own world record by 1 minute and 53 seconds. She also broke several other world records this year, including the half marathon, the 5-kilometre record, and the 10-kilometre road race record. Even better, she got the highest IQ score among the celebs in our Test the Nation in May. And she's tall, and she's beautiful, and she's thin. Is there anything else left for her to be best at? Question 45. What did Tanya Streeter plunge to new depths to achieve? The answer is A.
She went down 400 feet, or 122 metres, and came back up again just by holding her breath. No fancy apparatus for her. Free diving, they call it. It took Tanya 3 minutes and 38 seconds. She did, though, have flippers and very strong lungs.
Yeah! Well, you don't have to hold your breath quite that long to get to the leaderboard now and find out who is actually currently in the lead. Here we go now. Who's down the bottom there? The Wheel Clampers on 47%. Above them with the Beauticians at 50%. The Magicians sitting on 57%. The Armed Forces families at 68%. They seem quite pleased with that result. Above them, the Lawyers at 72%, which leaves us with the Firefighters at 78%. This will be unpopular. And the Cheats at 79%. Oh, but it's very close. It is extremely close. Let's find out what the problem is with our Wheel Clampers over here. Guys, because obviously this has gone this has gone horribly wrong. What's happening here?
Too many buttons on the thing.
Whereabouts do you guys get your information from? Do you take any notice at all of what's going on around you? Not interested? Not interested at all?
Not really.
No, don't care about 2003 at all?
No, it's been now.
Ali?
Into the next block and some things which started and finished in 2003. Question 46. What month was the congestion charge for London introduced? The answer is B, February. You now have to pay £5 a day to drive into the centre of the city. Figures show that traffic is down, but not as much as they hoped. Question 47. What creature greeted Harry at the start of his gap year? The answer is D, echidna, or spiny anteater.
Harry began his gap year in Australia in the autumn. Now, apart from the girls who flocked to catch a glimpse, he was shown some other local talent down under, which appeared to have quite a nasty Republican attitude.
Question 48. Mike Fuller became the first black chief police constable of which county? Answer C, Kent. He takes up his new job in January and plans to tackle antisocial behaviour. They could do with him round Albert Square, I think. Question 49. What did this animation mark the start of? If you're in any doubt, hear this.
3 is a magic number. Yes, it is. That's a magic number.
Yes? Easy? Easy, was that one? The answer is B, one of the BBC's digital channels, but don't switch over now. Question 50. Sarah Tether became the youngest MP in this parliament. What is her constituency? The answer is A, Brent East.
The 29-year-old Lib Dem won a sensational by-election victory in September. She beat Labour, who'd held the seat for 29 years. All of Sarah's life, in fact.
Questions on strange but true. Question 51. Whose party was this man attending? The answer is D, Prince William. The Queen was hosting the 21st birthday party for him at Windsor Castle. It was fancy dress and the theme was out of Africa.
The guests seem to have taken that quite seriously, so much so that when Aaron Barshak, who calls himself a comedy terrorist, turned up, dressed as Bin Laden, he fitted in quite nicely. And it was only when he tried to order champagne that somebody smelled a rat, and he was arrested.
Question 52. What's happening here? Answer A, as part of the launch of the new modern art gallery that houses the collection of Charles Saatchi.
160 volunteers posed naked. They were under instruction from the artist Spencer Tunick, who goes in for these sort of live nude exhibitions. Shame it didn't rain, really.
Now, our reviewers, did either of you get to those bashes?
I went to that. I went to the Saatchi one, and the bizarre thing was, after they'd done their kind of naked installation, they were actually allowed into the party. So you get these completely naked people wandering through. Pleased to say, the only thing they were holding was a drink, though, as they were walking through. I'm relieved to hear.
I was there too. It was amazing because they all came up and just held conversations with you. And after about 5 minutes, you just got completely used to the fact that you were talking to people who had no clothes on. And you just learned to keep your eye line absolutely level with their eye line.
But to begin with, were your eyes going all over the place?
Well, to begin with, we tended to see them in the distance. They were walking down corridors, and so you sort of took them all in at one glance.
Did they have nice bodies?
It varied quite a lot.
He did look at all their bodies. Question 53. What did David Blaine cut to gain press attention for his UK stunt? The answer is B, his ear. If seeing is believing, watch this. Magicians, is that easy to do? Oh, it isn't. It looks like a bit of acting, that. No? Did it?
Well, magic comes in all sorts of different forms, and if you're out at a party this Christmas and you're in desperate need of a snog, then this is a trick you need to perfect. OK, this is Michelle Wickerson from Berkshire. So, Michelle?
Christmas is magical. Christmas is mystical. Christmas should be romantic. They're all going all over the place now, which is typical when you do anything that's live. But the thing is, if you're going to be romantic, what you really need at Christmas is some of this.
Are you ready? Pucker up.
Question 54. What put this performance onto the front pages? See for yourselves.
Smell of it is Hollywood. How could it hurt you when it looks so good?
Yes, answer is C. Madonna and Britney were performing at the MTV Video Music Awards. Britney says it was spontaneous. Question 55. What was Cherie singing during the Blairs' trip to the Far East in July? A group of students in Beijing persuaded, sadly, the Prime Minister's wife to give them a Beatles song. So the answer is C. Here's the snippet. The thing is to watch Tony's face.
When I get get older, losing my hair. Many years from now, will still be singing me a Valentine. Day greetings, one by one. I get back.
Yes?
Don't we all hate getting a face like that from our partner? That's not the way to do it, Cherie. This is the way to do it. Away you go!
Will you still feed me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Sensational. This is Ava Robinson. And actually, you did enter one of these sort of talent competitions, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I went for Pop Idol.
Mm-hmm. And how did you do?
Not very well, actually. I was really excited to meet the judges and Ant and Dec, and I've always wanted to sing on TV, but I didn't get past the first round, so I must have
You've
been
got to be
very
pretty bad, haven't you, to get chucked out that early on?
I think it must have been fixed.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Would you give us a little bit of what you were singing? Oh, God, she's saying that. Try and stop me, she says. I'll take it off you after 10 seconds. Away you go.
You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to.
I think maybe 5 seconds.
Very brave, that. Now I have some questions about things that took a final bow in 2003. Question 56. The final whistle was blown on Wembley's Twin Towers. What will replace them? The answer is A, a giant arch made out of glass and steel, which will be visible across London. Now, I think we should have a show of hands. Should we have gone for a statue of David Beckham? All those in favour, raise your arms now. You wouldn't have preferred David Beckham? Those who would not like a statue of David Beckham at Wembley, put your arms up. You mean not? Oh, dear. Question 57. Concorde has its last commercial flight in October. What could you not do on any BA Concorde flight? The answer is C. There was only one class on Concorde. The supersonic plane was grounded after 27 years, and an auction earlier this month, a captain's seat went for $26,000. A Concorde nose raised $320,000. Question 58. These 4 ministers left the government. Which one did not preside over Iraq? The answer is B, Alan Milburn. He'd been Secretary of State for Health for more than 3.5 years. He resigned in June with that now classic excuse that he wanted to spend more time with his family. Question 59. Time was called on a famous tradition at Wimbledon. What was it? The answer is D, no more bowing and curtsying to the royal blocks. Wimbledon officials did say it would still be appropriate if the Queen turned up, except she hasn't been there for 25 years. Question 60. Jimmy Young said bye for now on Radio 2. Who replaced him? The answer is A, Jeremy Vine. After 30 years, Jimmy ended his reign with his own version of Unchained Melody, recorded in 1955.
To me.
So, the Unchained Melody fading away, and indeed so am I. It's not my idea, you understand, but final and farewell just the same. God bless, take care, and for the very last time, I fear, bye for now.
TTFN, Jim. And as we understand, Jeremy Vine has no plans, apparently, to sing. Right, let's have a look at our leaderboard now and see whether that's changed. Who's at the bottom? Is it the wheel... Oh, it's the wheel campers at 47%, but they're getting used to it now. They're quite happy with it, I think. Above them, the beauticians at 50%. We have the magicians at 57%. No great changes here. The Armed Forces family still at 68%. The top 3, who's there? The lawyers at 72. Still not being able to make any inroads on that top 2 positions. Celebrities at 78%, which means it's the firefighters on 80%. My goodness. You must have done some satisfying things in your lives, I would have thought, but that must take the biscuit.
That's it. You know, we've won. What can I say?
There's still a bit to go, I have to say. You're all confident you're going to be able to hold on to this lead now? Yeah. You were the ones that shouted that they were cheating. Still believe it? We'll see. Annie.
Well done, firefighters. Keep it up. On to the last section and pot luck. Question 61. Mr. Jeffries made his debut in the Guinness Book of Records. What for? Well, the answer, dog lovers, is B, the longest ears, and they measured 29.2 centimetres. That's almost a foot in length. They're insured for 30 grand, perhaps just as well, because we're told that Mr. J often stands on his ears and even trips over them. Question 62. Which fashion item made a comeback? Answer A, the miniskirt. 1963 was called the year of the leg. Mini Madness has returned 40 years on. Armed Forces, what do you think? Is that a good idea? Gareth Davis, where are you?
Here I am, Matt.
Do you have an opinion about the miniskirt?
I'm sure all fellas here will have an opinion on a miniskirt. It's a fantastic thing, and long may it continue.
Question 63. Prisoners from Leyhill won 2 awards this summer. What for? The answer is B, creating a garden for the Chelsea Flower Show.
The prisoners received a gold medal in the show garden category, as well as the BBC's People's Award for their entry, which was called No Time to Stand and Stare, based on the well-known poem. An inmate or two, however, did have time to get a good look at the Queen. Hard to tell if she was amused.
Now, question 64. A third nation joined the space race this autumn. Whose spacecraft was it this time? The answer is A, China, the Tigernaut. That's the Chinese term for astronaut. Yang Liu spent 21 hours in space. When he got back, he was asked whether he could see the Great Wall of China from up there. No, was his answer, which wasn't quite what he was supposed to say. Question 65. What was the name of the hurricane that shut down Washington, D.C.? Answer B, Isabel. She swept through Washington from North Carolina and Virginia. And just in case you don't know what she brought with her, look. Question 66. Which architect won the commission for the design of the New World Trade Center site? The answer is D, Daniel Libeskind. His design is called Memory Foundations and will remember the victims of September the 11th. Question 67. Who was beatified by Pope John Paul in October? The answer is B, Mother Teresa. She died 6 years ago. The miracle, which started her on the road to sainthood, took place a year after her death. An Indian woman claimed a large tumour in her stomach had vanished after she'd prayed to Mother Teresa. Question 68. Which planet passed closer to the Earth than at any time in almost 60,000 years? The answer, C, Mars. The very closest Mars got to the Earth was on the 27th of August, when we were about 35 million miles apart, which doesn't sound all that close. Question 69. What was this controversial poster advertising? The answer is C, the Eurostar. And it's... Yes. And it's faster service now that the track has been improved. Another poster in the same series featured a look-alike Queen standing in the familiar Marilyn Monroe pose. The reaction of the palace was apparently very po-faced. Finally, I feel a card trick coming on. Question 70. A new set of playing cards were issued in the USA. What was on them? The answer D. Allied commanders said troops have been issued with packs of cards carrying names and photos of 55 prominent Iraqis from Saddam's regime. I don't think the wheel clampers got that.
We've got Paul Darbeck here, who has just won Young Magician of the Year, and if the Americans had used you, they'd have found Saddam so much faster.
Well, you could say that, Philip. What we've got here are the playing cards with America's Most Wanted here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go fishing for them. OK, so I've got a little bag here just to represent the desert, and we've also got...
Or a small hole.
Or a small hole, yeah. Precisely. And we've also got the fishing line, which is quite handy. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop that in there, like that. And, in fact, if you just... In fact, I think we might have caught one. Yeah? Let's have a look.
Who's in there, then?
It's the main man himself. Have a look at that.
Round of applause for the Young Magician of the Year, Sir Darbeck.
finished because that's Test the Nation National Test, finished for 2003. What we need you to do now at home is add up your scores. And as we said at the beginning, it's 1 point for a correct answer, absolutely nothing for a wrong one. And if you want to know how you rate, this is how Dr. Colin Cooper, that's Cooperman Superman, who you remember guides us through our IQ test. This is how he works it out. 0 to 30 equals a good try, but where have you been all year? 31 to 35 equals not bad, but it does seem that 2003 didn't interest you very much. 36 to 39 is good. He calls it a very reasonable effort. 40 to 42 is very good. It's above average. 45 to 48, well done. You're in the top 20%. And if you got between 49 and 70, it's fantastically brilliant. It's in the top 10% of the UK.
Well done. If you've got that high score, then you are a genius. Now, we always have an extraordinary number of people who enjoy taking the test online. They're also the ones who give us the results in our nationwide survey, the UK's Bright Sparks. 54,000 have texted us their answers and should by now have had their scores. Thousands more, of course, have played online. Now then, we can tell you how many people across the UK, obviously we've just done that, how many people have performed and played. Now you want to know how they've done when we split them up into various categories. This time, these aren't percentages, these are average scores out of 70. So first, let's begin with the UK breakdown. Now, Northern Ireland, of course, were on top last year. 34, Wales at the bottom. Northern Ireland, you've slipped to third. Scotland, 39. England in the lead with 40. Last year, they were the losers, actually. They've come first this time. Right, OK, let's have a look at the cities, individual cities now. So if you were playing online, this is how you have done. If you are representing your various part of the country. 34 for Londonderry and Southampton. Leicester, 36, shared with Aberystwyth. Aberystwyth actually were in the lead last year. They won. 15th this time. Glasgow, 37, along with Aberdeen, Norwich. And we've got Manchester at 39, with Plymouth and Bristol. 40 for Liverpool, and we'll be pleased with that. 41 for Birmingham and Newcastle. 42 for Leeds. And the top two, Brighton with 43 and Sheffield with 48. Well, of course, you could also take part on the web wherever you are in the world. So for this test, we have a special category for those playing outside the UK. So I'm just waiting for that result to come in now, because this, of course, is for everyone who's played online anywhere in the world. Your score was 32. Of course, some of you won't be able to watch the programme, so we'll put it on the website. Let's see which age has now done best. And we would expect maybe the 20 to 34 to do the best here. Over 70 got 34, shared with 55 to 69. 47, 35 to 54 are the ones that picked up the most marks. 20 to 34, 41, and a respectable 32 for the 16 to 19-year-old age bracket. Right, how does your form, a chosen form of relaxation, affect how well you remember 2003? Is there any link? Well, let's have a look here. So this is how you relax. So the highest we've got there looks to me like 46. People who go to restaurants are the ones that scored the highest. If you get all your relaxation in the bath, you will only have scored 36. Beautifying, this is one for the beauticians, only 32 there. And shopping, 33. The clubbers got 34 and the pub's got 45, so you get more knowledge in the pub than you do down the club. Mind you, we could have told you that anyway. Finally, the score everyone has been waiting for. Is it the men or is it the women who have done better and who have better memories in 2003? Bearing in mind that in every test the nation so far, men have come out on top. So, what happens this time? Yes! It's happened again! 40 for the men, 39 for the ladies. Annie?
We always just miss it. Now, those who've played at home have done very well, and I'm now hoping to talk to the highest scorer who took the test using their mobile phone. So they were texting. The highest scorer so far is Graham Wedd from Bedfont in West London. And he scored 66 out of 70. Graham, are you with us?
Yes, I am, mate. Hello.
So, congratulations. New technology. You've had a triumph there. Were you surprised at your result?
Yeah, just a little bit.
OK. How old are you, Graham?
I'm 35.
Oh, very good. And tell me, what do you do for a living?
I work for the AAM.
Do you?
Yes.
And so you spend a lot of time sitting in your van reading papers, do you?
No, I work in the offices. I don't know anything about cars, unfortunately.
Do you? And are you generally considered to be very good at general knowledge?
I think I must be, really. I mean, I read a lot of newspapers, listen to the radio an awful lot, but I seem to have an ability to just retain useless information, obviously.
Well, you're brilliant at it. Thank you very much, Graham. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
People of all ages playing in the studio this evening, we thought we'd award one extra round of applause to the youngest person with the highest score. And it is a person in the Armed Forces families. We've spoken to her. She's 16. She's Laura Hamlin. She got 53 out of 70. Well done, you. Right, OK, here we go. It's the moment of truth for our groups here in the studio. Time to see who had the most vivid memories of 2003 and those who, of course, had vaguer recollections. Here are the final scores. Celebs on top or not, I wonder. At the bottom, we have... Surprise, surprise, it's the Wheel Clampers with 34, but they're past caring. We've the Beauticians now at 35. The Magicians at 41, they didn't manage to pull it out of the hat in the last minute. The Armed Forces families, they have the highest youngster there, but they still only got 48. Lawyers got 50, and in the lead we have Celebrities at 55. It's shared with the Firefighters. It's a great relationship, seeing as you happen to be side by side. Now then, well done to you, Firefighters, and well done to our celebrities. Now, of course, we need to find out where we will find the person with the highest score. Let's start over here. Now, you had the highest young score in here. Does the person with the highest score reside in the Armed Forces families? The answer, I'm afraid, is no. What about the Wheel Clampers? Don't be so daft. What about the Beauticians? Who has the highest score? Surely one of you must have pulled it out the bag. Surely it's Greg Dyke up here who's snuck in. Yeah, no, unfortunately, it's not you guys either. So, they are either the Lawyers or the Firefighters. Lawyers or Firefighters? Who's going to be? It's the Lawyers! And they are James McNeil. Where's James McNeil? James McNeil, congratulations. 66 out of 70. And what about Miles McIntosh? Well done, Miles. 66 out of 70. Well done to you. Round of applause. Terrific. Annie.
OK. Well, the celebs, they were beaten by the Firefighters, but they've still done quite well. Is everyone happy to have their scores revealed? Yes.
Yeah, fine.
Yes, aren't they good? OK, so the winner among you, and you see she's not just a pretty pair of legs, Linda, with a fantastic... Well done. 60 out of 70. In second place, and this person isn't used to coming second. Colin, you got 57. Ricky, not bad for an East End lad. You came third with 56.
56.
Fourth place, Angela and Michael with 55. Congratulations. Next, Matt, with your tooth missing, darling, you got 54. And Leslie, you spent too long in that car park. You got 48. I need to get out more.
They've been terrific all evening. We're going to thank them very much indeed. Will you please give us a big round of applause for our two reviewers here? Michael, thank you very much indeed. The very best of luck for 2004. Thank you for joining us.
We've had great fun this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it too. And the great news is, if you're out and about and you've parked your car in the wrong place, you should be safe because I've got so many of the wheel clampers here.
But of course, you're in a mess if you need a lawyer or your house is on fire. Don't forget the tests and results will stay online for the next few weeks. A perfect way to work up all that turkey. Thanks to our studio group, our beauticians.
Our magicians.
The horses' families.
Wheel clampers.
Our lawyers with the 2 winners.
And our wonderful firefighters.
The winning group. I hope you got the sort of score that you wanted. If you didn't, well, at least it's given you something new to argue about over Christmas. Testination will be back in 2004 with yet more fiendish and fun ways to find out what you know. So don't forget to watch for the next test.
And this should give you a good start to your holidays wherever you are. You can put your brains away on hold. Thank you for taking part. Thank you for watching. And from everyone on Testination, a very good night. And of course, from Philip and me, a very happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. Bye now.